Cancel the U2 concert.
Boy, oh boy, did I have a great tirade.
Don't fucking do it. This should be like a 1.5 point line.
Oh, they just scored again.
I think he's the clear-cut winner.
That's the only good move.
That's it.
Welcome to the Thielet and Graves podcast. I'm Thielet.
I'm Graves, and we're just two dudes like yapping about sports.
All right, welcome to the Thielet and Graves podcast. My name is Ryan Thielet.
My name is Isaac Graves.
And we're just two dudes that like to talk sports.
You're damn right we are.
All right, let's get started. This is a loaded episode.
Woo!
We're adding a new segment in this week.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna get started with the NFL like usual. Drop down to the NHL. Talk a little bit about the MLB spring training, just the Pirates,
Just a little bit.
and then we're adding professional wrestling, the WWE.
I can't believe you made me watch this.
Oh yeah, you enjoyed every second of it. Okay, you enjoyed it because I got a text message to you saying that this was really good. Anyways, moving on. Let's get started with the NFL. This was a big past week with the combine happening. We officially put up our first mock drafts, and then we're going to go into Debo, and then we'll start off with Matthew Stafford to round it out.
Yeah.
Disclaimer, I sound like crap because I am, not going to say very sick, but I am sick. So I am muscling through this show because I didn't want to go 2 weeks without seeing you guys or talking to you guys.
Rip.
So there will be a counter for how many times Ryan gets off camera and dies, because it's going to happen.
This is gonna be an edit for sure.
So here we go. NFL Combine. I mean, I watched one day, and that was Saturday, because that's the only important day. That's quarterbacks and receiver day. That's the day everyone cares about.
I paid attention to Twitter. Like I just kept seeing. I don't know why I have NFL's post notifications on for everything, but I just see 40-yard dash numbers coming in.
They were, I was surprised that we didn't get a new 40 time this year.
Yeah.
I was expecting Isaiah Bond to shatter that record.
Oh yeah.
But again, this is what, like, the combine. Honestly, in general, I'm not a big I'm a fan of the combine, but I'm also not a big fan
Yeah.
because the way we judge these things, it's like a person can have a bad workout and then he's screwed millions of dollars, and it's just like, I get it. That's how the NFL works. But these are not NFL talents yet. They are college kids that are just now getting into the NFL world.
Yeah.
So I mean, the combine, I just think it puts too much stress on these college kids, which you're not seeing them perform at their best. Where I feel like the game tape and pro days are the best days to see what you're actually getting out of these people.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, there's one quarterback that impressed me out of all of them, was Will Howard.
Okay.
He was on target. Like, he wasn't missing. And then what I don't get, he gets so much hate from these NFL scouts, which I don't get, because he had an amazing, what everyone thought had an amazing day. He ran good. His passes were on point. His decision making was good, timing it up right with receivers who he hasn't thrown with. Because I think there was only one Ohio State receiver there. So he hasn't seen most of these guys or been with these guys.
Yeah.
So, but these NFL scouts said, "Oh yeah, this wasn't a good day for him. He didn't look good at all." I'm like, well, what else do you want to see out of a quarterback? These are the same guys who discredit Will Howard, but say Shedeur Sanders is almost the best quarterback coming out of the draft.
Yeah. No. Like, I personally think Shedeur Sanders is gonna fall.
Me too.
I still have Cam Ward going top of my QB list right now.
I just have Shedeur going to Cleveland because, well, we'll get into our mock drafts, but I have him going to Cleveland because that's a perfect fit for a Shedeur Sanders' Cleveland, and not even for like a good way. Because there's always a quarterback, the high expectation, but the high hype that always goes to Cleveland.
Yeah.
And this is going to be another one for them. Well, let's move over to our mock drafts.
Actually, before we do that, we have breaking news out of Cincinnati, Ohio. The Cincinnati Bengals have franchise tagged T. Higgins again.
Oh. Do you think he's going to request a trade?
I think it's possible. Holy shit.
Yeah. Holy shit. I didn't think they were going to franchise tag him again. I thought they were actually going to sign him.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we heard this all season how he wants a big contract. He wants to be paid. He wants to have a multi-year deal. All right. Well, going back, so we're talking about T. Higgins.
Yeah.
After technical difficulties of someone's mic deciding to not work halfway through.
It just said, nah, fuck this.
But yeah, no, I thought that they were going to do the smart thing for once, pay the players so they don't have to deal with the controversy that comes from being franchise tagged.
Excuse all that.
Did we get it? Don't touch it. Don't touch it. Don't touch
Hands
it.
the fuck off.
Okay. Anyways, I feel like we...
I was trying to move it down. Okay, I'm good.
Anyways, so yeah, no, I thought we would that Cincinnati would be smart and avoid the all the buzz about it, because I know I won't be shocked if we see a trade request from T. Higgins,
Oh yeah.
because I know he's not happy with this.
No, I mean he's a wide receiver one on a lot of teams.
On our team, he'll be, well, no, he would be receiver one
Over Pickens, you think?
over Pickens, no doubt.
Yeah.
I mean, T. Higgins is more, I want to say this, but more reliable than George. I mean, if you saw the end of the year with those drops that he was having, I thought I was watching Deontay Johnson again.
And he doesn't bitch, whine, and cry every 5 seconds.
Well, that too. But anyways, past the breaking news that I was not expecting that to happen, let's go over to our first round draft picks.
Oh, yeah.
So today, before class, not during class, because we actually care about our classes, we did a PFF round 1 mock draft. We each did one. You'll see each of ours on the screen as we screenshot it, and we'll throw these in there. We're going to compare ours, argue about each other's, because we probably don't have the same thought process as Isaac's struggling to pull. Are you pulling yours up there?
Yeah, because my hard drive is plugged in here.
Oh, yeah, that's smart. Hey, whenever you want to pull it up, be
All
nice. Right. Okay.
So there's mine.
Starting off with mine, I got Travis Hunter going first overall to Tennessee.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's a reason why I think, and I have him drafted not as a receiver, as a cornerback.
That makes sense.
Because Tennessee does need receiver help. They need everything help.
They need a lot of help.
But I think that they would like to have a cornerback before going for the offense.
If they take, like, Shador or Cam first overall, they're morons.
Yeah, exactly.
Give Will another year.
Yeah, agreed. I think Will should get another year. And you can even flip Travis to be your receiver. Because he is an NFL receiver, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Now, should have he won the Heisman? Definitely not. I think Ashton Genty was the Heisman winner through and through. Should have been close. But
Yeah.
that's a whole other conversation that we can talk at some point. But what do you have first round? First overall.
I had the Titans taking Abdul Carter.
You have them taking a D-line help.
Yeah, because they need it badly.
I don't have him until late in my draft.
Wow. Okay.
You'll see. All right, second overall, I mentioned it earlier. I had the Cleveland Browns buying in on the hype and picking up Shedeur Sanders out of Colorado.
That sounds like a very Cleveland Browns thing.
The thing about Shedeur, the reason that I'm not a big fan of him is the Bryce Young factor. He was supposed to be this next big guy coming out of college. But the thing about it, he hasn't done anything in college.
Yeah.
They haven't won the 12. They haven't been inside the college football playoffs. I don't think he's won a bowl game at Colorado in the 2 years he played there.
Damn.
And, you know, I follow FanDuel on Instagram, and they were doing quarterback comparisons. They compared Shedeur Sanders to Kenny Pickett. Don't get me wrong. I love myself some Kenny Pickett. But why is he up this high if he's supposed to be like a Kenny Pickett?
Yeah.
That's what I don't understand. That's why I don't agree with some of these scouting reports that we're coming out with. Because also Shedeur Sanders had Travis Hunter. That boosts up your stats no matter how you look at it. Jeez, dude, what's going on with your mic?
I don't know. Yeah, we're gonna have to make some. We're gonna have to talk to somebody about that.
Yeah, at some point soon.
Anyways,
where's your number 2?
I also had the Browns going quarterback because they need it, like, more than anything.
Deshaun Watson's not even supposed to be coming back next year, what I've been seeing.
Nor should he because he's ass.
Well, that's one way to put it.
But I actually had them taking Cam Ward.
Cam Ward?
Yeah.
That's another one that I'm not, like, high on.
I feel like our 2 and 3 are flipped.
Our 2 and 3 are flipped. So let me get into it before I have the New York Giants taking Cam Ward out of Miami.
Yeah, I have the Giants taking Shedeur Sanders because I feel like that has been in the rumor mill for ever.
How about a Sanders playing for a New York Giants team?
Yeah.
That's just insane to think about because, with his dad being a big-time Dallas Cowboy.
Will Dion let that happen?
Probably not.
Question.
So, okay. So, I want to get into Cam Ward. So, I'm a pick guy. So, I watched the rest of the ACC.
Yeah.
This is the same Cam Ward who lost to Georgia Tech. Same Cam Ward who almost lost to Virginia Tech. 2 of the bottom teams in the ACC. And how are you going to say that he's supposed to be a big-time guy when he can't win the small games? And he struggled in the big games, too.
Yeah.
There's a reason why they weren't in the ACC championship. In a weak, I'll admit it, a weak ACC. So, I get it. It's more than just a one-player game because this is football. But it doesn't matter when you're supposed to be a top 5 pick.
Yeah.
You should win the layup games, and that's what he hasn't been doing. That's what he didn't do in college.
Yeah. All right.
For number 4, I think you and me are dead on.
I'm going to butcher the name. Techeroa McMillan.
Yes, I have him being as the first receiver taken. I haven't watched a lot of his tape. I'm not going to act like I'm some tape expert.
No.
But
I barely watch college football, so I don't know what the hell I'm doing here.
But
I'm just going off of what teams need.
So he's a reliable target for Arizona. He was reliable all year long. He's one of those guys who, like an Mbike, that the Steelers were supposed to get. The receiver from Ohio State. He was Arizona's number 1, but honestly, he'll be any team in the NFL's number 2. He's a guy who's not going to be your deep threat. He's the guy who's in possession catch and go down the field. He's a rack machine. He picks the runs after catch. Well, sorry. I was thinking of something else. Yak machine. Yards after catch. That's what he's going to be, and that's what they need. And, well, New England needs a whole new receiving core.
Yeah.
But adding him will be a big step for New England.
Because, like, right now, who the hell is their number 1? Is it Hunter Henry?
Yeah.
Like, honestly? And he's a tight end.
He is a tight end.
Like, okay. Number 5, Jacksonville.
Who do you got?
I have Travis Hunter falling to 5.
Oh. I actually have Jaden Barden from Texas, cornerback. I have the first defensive player picked 5th overall, Jacksonville.
Well, again, like you had Hunter being selected as a cornerback.
But he's like a slash player.
Yeah. But everywhere in here said it was, and PFF said that cornerback. Nothing said anything about him being drafted as a receiver.
Which is insane to think about. Like, why are you limiting him?
Yeah. So, but we know how much help the Jags need.
On both sides of the ball.
On both sides of the ball. But that secondary is in deep shit if they don't get something figured out.
That's also why I picked up the Texas cornerback, because look, he is a lockdown guy. He was been on the island the entire season, because that's just how college ball works. These corners are the hardest position besides quarterback in college football is the corner position, because unlike the NFL where they play too high and they have a safety running over top of corners are 1-on-1 in a zone the entire game.
Yeah.
Against these freak athletes. And Jaden has played an entire year like that against some of the best receivers in the entire college football playing in the SEC. So I feel like he'd be a nice fit for Jacksonville. And I didn't do any trades for these. I think Jacksonville is going to pick up their offense in the second and third round
Yeah.
to get help for Trevor.
I mean, who knows? There could be a shit ton of trades, and we just don't know it. But I'm going to put this out there. Guys, this is Mock Draft 1.0. I got so much studying to do. Like,
Yeah, we got more studying to do. I got more tape to watch. I'm about to put on my Mel Kiper hat and break down some of the top talents. We are not doing a full 7-round draft because that's just not worth it. I think what everyone likes is just the first round.
that's a whole episode in itself.
Exactly. So moving on to the Las Vegas Raiders. I have them going running back. This is where Ashton Genty goes.
Wow. Okay. All right. I had Genty falling a little bit. I have them taking Luther Burden,
The receiver from
Missouri.
Yeah, I mean, he's just as good as Genty as at the receiver position, but I think Oakland had no run game.
They had less than no run game.
Yeah, they had arguably, besides our run game, the worst run game in the NFL.
Yeah.
And I think Ashton Genty, I mean, you can go ahead and look at his stats. His stats were what Barry Sanders had. And that's a Hall of Fame NFL and college football player.
Yeah.
An all-time great. And he is the Heisman. He was the best player in college football.
Yeah.
And he was doing, I get, he got the knock because he played at Boise State. He didn't play at a Power 4 conference. It don't matter.
This is what happens when you have a running back tandem of Alexander Madison and Zamir White.
So I feel like Ashton Genty will be their guy, their number one, and I think he's going to take over the NFL because his run style, it's hard, and he's going to run you over. Then he has that sneaky speed to get on the outside. So we're going to see a lot of packages where we're going to see a lot of sweeps, a lot of outside pitches. Just to throw off the defense that want to clam on the box, like line up real tight on the box and try to stop him on the line.
I like watching Boise State's bowl game. I mean, he looked just unbelievable.
Oh, against Penn State.
Yeah.
Okay, so people were saying he had a bad game. He had over 100 yards on a top 5 defense against a top 5 defense.
Yeah, he did not have anywhere near a bad game. I mean, what?
Yeah, that's why when people were saying, "Oh, he didn't play good against Penn State," he had probably 13 carries for 100-some yards and 2 touchdowns. I mean, what more do you want the kid to do? He was already the entire team's offense.
Yeah.
All right, moving over to the New York Jets.
How bad are they going to screw this one up?
Oh, I have them screwing this up one bad. I have them taking D-line Mason Graham out of Michigan.
I have the same thing.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to get help in the offense. I think they're going to screw the pooch again in the first round and not give Aaron Rodgers or any other quarterback that's going to be to the Jets because God knows where Aaron Rodgers is going to be.
Watch them get Zach Wilson back in free agency.
I can see that happening. Or even Kenny going up there. I can see that happening too.
Or Tyrod Taylor just ends up starting.
Yeah, anyways, whoever's there, they're not going to get the help that they need. They're going to stick to the defense and stick to their game plan. They're going to have a great defense, but a crappy offense.
Yeah.
They're not going to be able to score. So
their defense has been top 5, like at least 3 out of the last 4 years.
With Salah being there.
Yeah.
So we'll see what they do, but I just don't think they're going offense first round. As much as they need it, I think they're going to stay on the defense side of the ball and build up that D-line. So let's go down south to the South Carolina. South Carolina because they're in Charlotte, North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Sorry. Anyways, I'm so out of it.
Carolina Panthers.
Carolina Panthers. I got them taking Trey Amos out of Ole Miss.
Well, let me just look through this. I don't think I had him going first round. I think I had him falling out of the first round. I have them taking Jahdae Barron here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because they need a lot of secondary help.
See, I picked him over. I picked him. I had Jahdae going earlier, but that's my receiver. My second cornerback in this draft. He gets too much hate for what he is. He is a good corner. He can be in the slot. He can be in the outside. He can be your X. He can even play defensive back and play back with the safeties.
Yeah.
He's an overall great cornerback that's not getting enough and much love as he does. And again, he played in the SEC. Same thing I said. He plays against some of the best receivers in the nation.
Yeah.
So I feel like these other guys don't compare to him as much as like PFF is saying or some of these other grading books. I feel like he is your second. Counting Travis Hunter, he's your third. Not counting Travis Hunter, he's your second best cornerback in the draft.
All right. The New Orleans Saints at number 9.
Who do you got them taking?
I have them taking Tyler Warren, tight end out of Penn State.
I have them doing the same exact thing.
Because it's pretty much confirmed Taysom Hill's leaving.
Yeah. Well, okay. So, Taysom Hill leaves. What was he? He was a Swiss Army knife.
Yeah.
And what is Tyler Warren? A Swiss Army knife. Who's honestly way better than Taysom Hill.
Yeah.
Way better. So, I feel like Tyler Warren is going to be a better fit for New Orleans than any other team because New Orleans is going to know how to use them.
Taysom Hill 2.0.
I wouldn't be shocked if we see packages with Tyler in the quarterback position, kind of like how we saw with Taysom, but not throwing the ball, doing a jet sweep, pitching it off to the running back, or even doing a read option and letting him take the outside.
How do you think the Saints start out at quarterback next year? Does Derek Carr stick around is my first question.
They're going to keep Derek, but they're going to let Spencer rather walk.
Really?
I think they're going to get rid of Spencer because he looked awful down there. Again, it's the Saints and they had no help.
And now Kellen Moore is your head coach now.
So I think that we're going to keep a Derek Carr type quarterback.
Okay.
Because I think Kellen Moore's going to be like, okay, I want a vet as my quarterback to get started with. He doesn't want to start with a rookie quarterback.
I saw somewhere that the Steelers are interested in Derek Carr.
They're interested in every quarterback in the entire NFL.
Yeah, like they're interested in fucking Patrick Mahomes at this point. And
it's kind of as bad as saying that we're interested in Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
Which was a thing. At one point, I reported on it at Sideline. When I read that, I said, "There's no way this is true." Why?
Maybe the sign was right.
Maybe it was right. All right, going to Chicago, the Windy City.
Yeah.
What do you have them taking?
I have them actually going running back here, and this is where I have Ashton Genty going.
I don't know, man. I have them taking O-line. Because our O-line was god-awful last year.
Their O-line was terrible.
It was awful.
I think that's what they really need to focus on in the later rounds, for sure. Maybe even trade up with like a pick in the 20s to get an O-lineman.
I haven't taken O-lineman here. I haven't taken center Jared Wilson out of Georgia.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I have him taking care of their O-line. And I'll tell you what, Jared Wilson's a big boy. I'm looking up his height right now. He is. Let's see.
I'm just saying, if they get Genty, the Bears' run game is going to be unstoppable.
Yes, I get that, and they need the help because we all know Caleb Williams ain't going to be the best for them next year.
Yeah, and DeAndre Swift is
at the center position, mind you. He's a center. He's 6'3", 300-some pounds.
Wow.
He's, right now on Georgia's website, he's listed as 6'3", 310. So.
That's a big man.
That's a big dude. And that is just weight that they put on the website. That's not halfway through the season weight. Because we all know these guys get bigger during the season than what they did at the start of the season.
Yeah.
So he's only going to get bigger. So I feel like he'll be a good fit for them, be a good anchor for them, as the center is supposed to be the anchor and the leader of the group. So Jared Wilson will be your 10th overall pick this year.
Okay.
All right, let's go down to San Francisco.
The San Francisco, what the hell just happened to you, 49ers?
Yeah. Well, you want to get into it real quick?
I mean, I'm down.
Deebo Samuel, fourth round draft pick.
Fifth
Round draft pick.
You couldn't, congratulations to the Washington Commanders. Holy hell.
Yeah, him and Scary Terry on the same receiving core.
Yeah.
I know who I'm taking for fantasy football, and it's not Deebo Samuel. I'm taking Scary Terry.
And Brian Robinson on that core as well.
So the fact that we're supposed to be the Steelers are supposed to be all in for a new receiver, another big time receiver. You're telling me that they couldn't give up a 5th round draft pick for a guy like him? Which is, what are we doing? What are we doing? Why aren't we making the move? A 5th round draft pick ain't going to make or break us. I get it. Some of the gems are in there, but that's 1 in 1,000. Why waste a 1 in 1,000 chance when you can go get a guy who's already established, who's already been leading the league in yards and touchdowns? So why aren't we doing that?
Hey,
why
Omar.
are we sitting on our hands?
Hey, Omar, I know free agency hasn't opened yet. That doesn't mean you can't start doing shit. So, from the Thielet and Graves podcast, please wake the f*** up.
Yeah, it's time. This is good. Also good for the Steelers, because if this is the first trade that's going to happen for a receiver, it only means that Cooper Kupp's going to be cheaper, or some of these other guys, or a Brandon Ayuk is going to be cheaper.
We're gonna end up paying a first round pick for Cooper Kupp.
Oh, I already know it.
Or there's another name that I'm surprised hasn't been floating around. DK Metcalf.
Ooh, yeah, but he's definitely a first-round draft pick waste.
Oh, 100%. And I'm willing to pay a first-round pick for DK.
Yeah, but we need help. We need more than just receiver help. We need that first-round draft pick.
Yeah.
We could use that draft pick on another O-lineman or even on a quarterback at this point. I mean,
yeah.
That's why I'm not too keen on using our first-round draft pick for stuff.
Why is it...
Oh, T. Higgins just posted on Twitter.
Oh, boy.
Let's go back to this.
Oh,
Breaking
boy.
news. T. Higgins just posted on Twitter.
Oh, boy.
And his
scared.
tweet just says tag an all lowercase with a period at the end.
Yep, sounds about right.
Yeah, for people who don't understand what that means, when it's all lowercase and there's a period at the end, it normally means there's a sigh after it, or he's ticked about it, which I respectfully get. I understand him being mad about being franchise tag.
Yeah.
Because he's not a franchise tag player. He is... I feel like I'm reliving this whole Le'Veon Bell situation all over again.
He's a $100 million receiver.
He's easily for what he has to deal with Jamar Chase being hurt every other week.
Yeah.
And still putting up the yards he's doing. But anyways, let's get back to our draft. We are now going to the Dallas Cowboys.
Jerry's World.
This is where I have Abdul Carter going to.
Ooh, you had him falling.
Yeah, I have him falling. For one reason. Jerry's not going to go offense, which Jerry needs.
Yeah.
Jerry's not going to go safety help, which he needs. He's going to go with something he's familiar with, which is picking up an edge rusher out of Penn State. Because he knows that Penn State, this pains me to say, puts out good defensive talent.
That's the damn truth.
Look at Micah Parsons and what he's doing for them. Now, added Abdul Carter to that D-line, you're getting a respectful, a feared D-line right there. Because Abdul Carter is a freak athlete.
Yeah.
The reason I have him falling, though, because there's reports out that saying that he needs surgery on his foot. That he's having problems with his feet, which is a big hit for an edge rusher, because you got to be able to sound everywhere in your lower body, because that's where most of your moves happen. Most of your power comes from your legs. So that's why I have him fallen, only because no other team in the top 10 or top 11 wants to take the chance on somebody who's already injured.
Yeah.
Where do you have Dallas doing?
I have them also going edge rusher. I have them taking James Pierce Jr. out of Tennessee.
Oh, I have him. I have him in a couple picks going to somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah, but no, I get it. He's a solid edge rush.
Yeah.
He is solid. He's been good for Tennessee all year. And you know what's good about Tennessee's is because Tennessee's offense in general plays a fast-paced offense. So he practices with that all the time.
Yeah.
So when he gets to the NFL, he's going to have so much break time in between where it's only going to keep him in a better spot, which is going to be nice for the NFL.
Yeah.
So let's go into Miami. What do you have going on with Miami?
I have them going Malachi Starks, safety out of Georgia.
I have Xavier Watts out of Notre Dame. Same position. I could have picked up him and put him into that spot with Miami.
Yeah, I didn't go like on a scrolling journey. Now I'm thinking I should have.
I did, because that Notre Dame defense was lights out the entire season. They're going to be lights out again next year because they didn't lose too much.
Yeah.
So with this Notre Dame, he is a sound, and he's been coached very well.
Yeah.
And he doesn't make the mistakes that all these other cornerbacks have been making. So Marcus Freeman is a good coach. He trained Xavier Watts the right way to keep him out of making the dumb penalties. And that's what Miami needs, because Miami's defense was heavily penalized last year. So you need somebody who's not going to cause the dumb penalties and put them in bad situations.
Yeah.
Why did you pick Malachi Starks?
I hate to admit this because he was the first safety I saw. Because I'm a dumbass.
All right, let's go to the Colts. I have Indy not going offense, what they should do.
I don't either.
I have him going James Pierce Jr.,
Okay.
edge rusher out of Tennessee. We mentioned him earlier.
Yeah.
I gave my breakdown why I wanted him here. I think he's gonna fit an Indianapolis defense that is struggled in the trenches.
College football expert, college football noob.
So he'll be a good. He's gonna be an edge setter for Indianapolis is what they need. I think they're gonna need. I think Indianapolis. It's going to use their second, third, fourth. Go either get another receiver. Cause don't lie, they do need receivers.
Oh, yeah.
And then they're going to get some O-line help out of the third and fourth round.
Yeah.
But, anyways, moving on to Atlanta. Oh, wait, did you give up where you're going?
Also edge, Mike Green out of wherever the hell Marshall is.
What? It's in West Virginia.
Okay.
I have family who are big Marshall fans, and they clamored about him.
Yeah.
They said he's really good.
Yeah.
I think he's one of those hidden gems that are not in the Power Fours. You know how Bill Belichick used to always have those hidden gems
Oh, yeah.
that weren't in these big colleges? He's one of them, and we're going to see that in Indy if Indy picks him except James Pierce. All right, let's go down to Atlanta. This is where I have Luther Burden III going to.
Ooh, okay.
I think Atlanta's going to spend on the offense because that's what they need.
Well, yeah. I mean, they kind of need everything. But I have them going linebacker here.
Linebacker.
I have them going Jihad Campbell out of Alabama.
He's solid. He's good. I have him going somewhere else, but I do have him in the first round. But the thing about Luther that I like is that, look, you have Michael Penix playing down there.
Yeah.
You got Kyle Pitts,
Drake London.
You're missing a guy who can run the distance of the field and have a fast 40 time. Because Drake London don't have that. Kyle Pitts is a tight end.
Yeah.
So you need a speed threat. And that's what Luther Burden brings. He has strong hands and he's a speed threat.
Yeah.
He is a bona fide receiver one for Atlanta.
We're not saying Bijan's not a speed threat, but he's not a receiving threat.
No, they need a receiving threat to go help Penix out.
Yeah.
All right, let's go down to Arizona. I have them taking an offensive lineman here.
Okay.
I have him taking Will Campbell, tight tackle from LSU.
Ooh.
Yes.
I f*** this up so bad.
Again, like we said, this is our first rough mock draft.
Very.
But Will Campbell is another one of those guys who he's a big SOB.
Yeah.
He is huge.
Oh, I've seen that man. That is a big ass man.
Yes. And that's what Arizona needs. They need O-line help so bad. And I remember hearing from AQ Shipley that how good this Campbell is and how good he's going to be for the NFL.
Yeah.
So I think Will Campbell will be a great fit for an Arizona squad that needs everything. They don't look. They have a solid receiving core. They have somewhat of a running back core.
Yeah.
But they have no offensive line.
Not even a little bit.
So their most invest portion of their team's gonna be their O-line, and they're gonna start with Will.
Yeah. Yeah, don't let Kyler Murray die out there.
Yes, exactly. Kyler Murray can be a good quarterback. He is a good quarterback. He's just dying on every play because they have no offensive line.
Yeah.
What do you have for Arizona?
I have him taking D lineman Kenneth Grant out of Michigan.
Oh, you have him go D-line.
Yeah.
Why? Why? They need offensive help.
They do. They really do. So, yeah, that's all I'll say.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna say. All right, let's go. Let's go to the dumpster fire. Let's go to Cincinnati. Where do you have them taking?
The Cincinnati franchise tags, eh? I have them going D. I also have them going D-line.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
But they need the defensive help.
Oh yeah, they do.
I have them taking Walter Nolan out of Mississippi.
I have them taking Tyler Booker, guard, out of Alabama.
Okay.
These next two picks are both Bama boys. For me, my 17 and 18. But I have Alabama because they need O-line help. Joe Burrow got killed yet again this year. So he's going to go down as the most hit quarterback in NFL history at this pace.
Yeah.
So they're going to stop that with picking up a guy who, because look, they have good outside tackles. They have good outside offensive line. Where Burrow's getting killed is in the interior D line.
Yeah.
So they need another big guy who can play in the inside, and that's what Tyler Booker can do. He is your starting left guard for Cincinnati.
Okay. Seahawks at 18. How are these guys missing the playoffs is my question.
Because they have nothing except Geno Smith is an aging quarterback.
Yeah.
We got DK Metcalf, who every other week he wants to be on Seattle or he doesn't want to be on Seattle.
Tyler Lockett is old as shit.
Yep. So they don't have anything on the offensive side. That's why they weren't in the playoffs.
Yeah.
They should have been in the playoffs.
And yet I still don't have them taking offense.
I don't either. What do you have?
Edge.
You have them taking edge? I have who? What? From where?
Georgia.
What's the name?
Michael Williams.
Whew. I have him taking linebacker Jahan Campbell out of Alabama.
Okay.
He is a good. He was Alabama's Mike. If you guys don't know what Mike is, that's where. So you'll hear like Mike 53, Mike 48. That's where that's your middle line. Like that is your main linebacker. So when the offense calls him out, that's where the offensive line starts protection and goes out from there.
I'm not the Mike.
Don't make me laugh. You're gonna make me cough on the mic. But Jaheed was their Mike. So and then he's gonna fall. I think he's not going to be the Mike at the get-go in Seattle because, again, he's going to be a rookie. And Seattle's not going to do that. He's going to go down to the star position of the linebacker group where he's going to have more freedom to blitz and play zone. So we're going to see him actually play the position I think he should be playing in the NFL. But at some point, he's going to move to the Mike. He's one of those guys who can play any position in the linebacker spot. But he is going to be their star. There's the Mike and then there's the star. So he's going to be the star linebacker.
Yeah.
All right. I have the Buccaneers also going linebacker.
Ooh.
I have him taking Jalen Walker out of Georgia.
Okay.
So we saw it in the playoff game.
Damn, I had him low.
Where do you have him?
I have Jalen Walker down far.
Okay, we'll get to that. But I have him taking linebacker help because they need help in the second level. Again, if you don't know what that means, if you're a hockey fan watching this, so there's the first level, which is the D-line, second level, which is the linebackers, and then the third level is the safeties and the cornerbacks. So they have good cornerbacks. They have good safeties. They have a pretty underrated D-line.
Yeah.
That has a pit boy on it. Well, I'm not gonna get into it.
They do need a corner though.
They do need corner, but
and that's where I had them going. I had them taking Will Johnson out of Michigan.
Wow, you have him that early.
Yeah.
So I have them taking Jalen Walker because they need help with the run in the second level, which he brings. He brings a good run stopping. I mean, you didn't see that much when Georgia played Notre Dame in the Peach Bowl. But again, Riley Leonard took over that game and won them that game. So it was like Riley Leonard had one of his freak athlete games.
Yeah.
But I think Jalen Walker's a good run stopper. And then that's what Tampa Bay needs because they struggle against the run. They were good against the pass, but struggle against the run. All right, I'm going to stop the two back-to-back, the back-to-back defense, and I'm going back to the offense. I have the Denver Broncos taking Matthew Golden out of Texas.
Go ahead and say your Steelers pick before I say my Broncos pick.
I have them taking Emeka Ibuka out of Ohio State.
Shit. I had those two flipped.
Oh, so we were close. So any way you look at it, well, let's start off with the Broncos. So the Broncos, I think, are going to be smart because they have Cortland Sutton, possession catcher.
Yeah.
They have, and then now getting a Matthew Golden, who is a pure speed threat.
Bet they wish they would have kept Jerry Jeudy after this season.
Oh, Jerry Jeudy's not that good of a receiver. Let's get into it. He was good in college. He's not good in the NFL.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's just making the Browns look good. I don't know.
But anyways, you can't make the Browns look good. Nothing you can do to make them look good. It's the same team that gave up Baker Mayfield. And look what he's doing now in Tampa.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, Matthew Golden's going to give Bo Nix something he hasn't had since college. A pure speed threat who can run the distance of the ball and outrun any quarterback in the NFL. So with Matthew running, he ran a 4.3 40 time. And look, these 40 times are important. I get why they do it, but that's not game speed. They run faster in game speed than they do 4 to 40 time. So I think we're going to get a guy who runs probably a 4.2 flat in game speed on a guy like Bo Nix who has a rocket of an arm, who can put that ball downfield and put it in the breadbasket. It's Sean Payton's heaven down there.
Yeah. I realize I want Ibuka on the Steelers. I really do. I think he would be perfect for this squad. And probably in my 2.0, I'm going to have those flipped back to how I think it should be. But I just said, yeah.
So, okay, let's get to the Steelers. George Pickens, He is your possession catcher, strong hands.
He whines a lot.
Yes. Mike is a carbon copy of George. Strong hands. But the only thing different than BK is faster.
Yeah.
And now imagine having both of them as your receiving core, and then you can plug Roman Wilson wherever he is on that roster in that third spot. You have a solid young receiving group.
Yeah.
And then let's just say Omar Khan does it and he becomes a con artist again. And we trade. Look, he's called a con artist. Kahn, not con. I'm not saying he's a con artist. That was his name that everyone gives him.
After not giving up a 5th-round pick for Deebo Samuel, he might be.
Well, anyways, let's just say that we get a Cooper Kupp type receiver for a 4th-round draft pick. So I still like him, BK, playing the outside and then doing something crazy, putting Cooper Kupp in the slot.
Jesus.
For one reason. He's not a big slot receiver, but what he does is what other receivers don't do. He reads the defense on the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
He does what Travis Kelce does at the tight end position. He finds the hole, sits in the hole, and waves his hands. So imagine having a guy like George on the outside who can catch any ball thrown to him when he's in a good mood.
Yeah.
Then you got BK, who is a consistent guy. He's a number 1 receiver on any other team that doesn't have a freak athlete that Ohio State has. So you have him on the outside, on your far side, George on your left side, and then you have a guy who reads defenses like it's the back of his hand. Cooper Kupp in the middle. That is a solid receiving core.
Yeah.
Now, if we don't get Cooper Kupp, I wouldn't mind us playing a little split rule there and putting a Roman Wilson or a Calvin Austin in that slot position. But there is no way in hell the Steelers don't go receiver. You got to draft a receiver.
Yeah.
No more second-round draft picks. This will be the first time they picked up receiver in the first round since Santonio Holmes was drafted.
It's been that long?
That long.
Jesus Christ.
It's been mostly linemen, linebackers, or with Kenny Pickett getting picked as quarterback.
Oh, my God.
So this is where we'll get our first receiver in almost 16 years in the first round. But moving away from the Steelers, let's go to the Chargers. Let's go to Harbaugh. I have him taking Cam Scatterbo, halfback out of Arizona State. He fits the Jim Harbaugh. Yeah, that's Jim over there, right?
That's Jim.
That's Jim. Yes, the high-flying machine Jim.
Jimothy Harbaugh.
He fits Jim Harbaugh style football to a T. He is small. He's smaller back, but boy does he pack a punch.
Yeah.
He runs over 5 to 6 guys per carry.
And if his Achilles don't snap in half every frickin' play like J.K. Dobbins do.
Yes. We're going to get a guy who fits the Jim Harbaugh, hard-nosed. We're going to run the ball 80 times a game, and we're going to put the ball down your throat, running the ball. And that's what Cam brings, a physical aspect to L.A. that they don't have.
Yeah.
Where do you have L.A. going?
I have them taking an edge rusher.
You haven't taken edge?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I'm an idiot. That's why. I have them taking Shamar Stewart out of Texas A&M.
Okay. Yes, he's good. He's really good. He jumped up the draft boards after the combine. He had a solid workout. He is an athletic freak. He shouldn't be as fast as he is.
Yeah.
He's 6'4", and he's just wicked fast for being a D lineman. So let's go down to Green Bay. For the first time in a long time, they're going receiver in the first round. I have him taking Trey Harris out of Ole Miss. You mean you're different? What do you have?
I don't even want to say it.
Say it.
I don't even want to fucking say it. I have him taking Donovan. What the fuck? Izuraku out of Boston.
Oh, the Boston College
Edge out of
rusher.
Boston College.
Okay. Green Bay needs defensive line help. They have for a while, and they haven't assessed the problem.
Yeah.
But Jordan Love needs more help than that defense does. Let's just be honest here.
Yeah, that is true.
And Trey Harris he's an athlete. Let's just put it that way. He's fast. He was Jackson Dart's number one guy.
Yeah.
So, honestly, an underrated offense that Ole Miss had this year, with tight end playing good, with Trey Harris being one of the best receivers in the nation. So Trey Harris he's not the highest graded receiver. I have him being that round one gem that people are like, why did you pick him? You have other options out there.
Yeah.
But he's a gem, and I think Green Bay is going to see that, which Green Bay's good at finding the gems and then going after them. So I think Jordan Love is going to get his guy, who's going to be a good perimeter receiver for him. So why don't you get started with Minnesota? Who do you have?
Okay. Minnesota. I don't know if they really need D-line help, but that's where I have them going. I have them taking Derek Harmon, defensive lineman out of Oregon.
So fun fact, you'd be agreeing on this one. I am also going D-line.
Okay.
Because I don't think they're going to do the smart thing and draft a offensive lineman because they need O-line help, but they're not going to admit it. And then they already have enough problems in the quarterback room.
Do you have them taking Harmon as well?
I have them taking Derek Harmon out of Oregon.
All right.
I think he's going to be a good interior guy who can manage to get through the run game. So he's going to stop the run game, which honestly, in that NFC North division, you got to have a good D-line.
Yeah.
Between Detroit and then Green Bay having a good running back core, minus Chicago. I don't think Chicago really. Let's not talk about Chicago's running back room, but like between with your division leader, which is going to be Detroit, and then you have a sneaky team like Green Bay, like you got to have interior D-line help, or you're going to struggle in that division.
Yeah.
So from Minnesota, let's go south, and let's go to the Houston Texans. Where do you have Houston picking?
I have them going D-line as well.
Who do you have up there?
I have them taking Darius Alexander, defensive lineman out of Toledo.
You got a Mac Nation.
Yeah.
Mac team. Wow. How about that gem? You didn't think I don't think I'll ever see a gem out of you.
Yeah.
Wow. I actually really like that pick.
Yeah.
I wasn't even thinking about it. Because he dominated Pitt's D-line. Pitt's O-line. He stopped Des Reed and spot the entire game.
The little bit I watched out of Pitt. Holy shit.
Yeah. And they don't get it. Pitt didn't have the best O-line in the nation. And they didn't have a good one. But he looked dominant.
Yeah.
So I have him going opposite side of the ball. I have him taking receiver.
Okay.
I have him taking Ilick and Morrow from Stanford.
Okay.
So he is another guy who doesn't get talked about because, again, this is Stanford football. Stanford football has been good since Andrew Luck was there, which he's back now as a GM because that's a whole new role as a GM now in college football, which is crazy to think about. That they need general managers to deal with these kids. But I have them taking receiver. They need receivers.
Yeah.
Because Stephon Diggs, we don't know where he's going to go.
Tank Dell might not play next season.
Oh, yeah, he's still going to be hurt.
Yeah.
And then Nico Collins can't be a receiver one. He's not a receiver one. He is a solid 2 or 3. He's a great fantasy receiver.
Yeah.
Because I had him. Saved my team half the season. But so they need another guy. So my Houston pick, I struggled with picking for Houston because I didn't want to go with defensive line. I didn't want to go corner yet because Houston got to handle their Stephon Diggs problem.
Yeah.
They got to sign him and get him locked in. And then I can make a pick for them. Because they're one of those teams that their pick determines by one man. So once we figure out that pick, that's when I'll feel more solid. This is the one that I wasn't too keen on because I didn't know where to go. All right, L.A. Rams.
All right.
What do you have?
I have a lot of tackles going in these final, 7? And this is one. I have them taking Josh Simmons, tackle out of Ohio State.
Okay. He's solid. So I have him taking Elijah Orojo out of Miami. Yes, the 9-year college football talent.
Wow.
Played 9 years of college football.
So he needs a senior citizen parking pass?
Yes, he needs a senior citizen parking pass.
Everyone's saying that about Bo Nix.
Yeah, I know. But I think they need tight ends. And he is, mind you, he was in college forever, but he is a good tight end. And he is what they need. So I think they're going to get their pass-catching tight end that they are in desire and need. I mean, it also depends what they're going to do with Cup and Stafford and a whole bunch of other things that they say, okay, after making the playoffs this year, they say, okay, let's blow it up.
Yeah.
Which makes no sense. You made the playoffs and now you just want to blow it up.
Yeah.
But anyways, I haven't taken tight end here. Let's go down to Baltimore. What do you have Baltimore taking?
I also have them taking tackle for one reason, because I think Ronnie Stanley's going to leave.
Oh, yes. He's definitely gone. But I have them taking receiver.
Okay.
Because we saw it this year when they lost their receiver one.
They lost Zay Flowers in the playoffs.
In the playoffs. Without Zay, there was no passing help.
No.
Lamar had nobody going to. So I have him taking Jack Beck out of TCU.
Okay.
He is another underrated guy that people don't talk about as much. But because TCU wasn't good this year. There's no sugarcoating. They weren't that good. They have not been good since Will Levis was there. But I think Jack Beck is one of those receivers that be a good fit for Baltimore.
Did you just say Will Levis went to TCU?
Oh, sorry. No. Will Levis went to
Kentucky.
Kentucky. Who was the quarterback for TCU that year?
I don't know.
Okay, but anyways, because he was an NFL guy. Anyways, moving on. Jack Beck is the guy for Baltimore. He's going to be another guy. He's an opposite receiver of Zay Flowers. He's not the quickest guy on the field, but he's a possession catcher. Yeah. He's going to work the sidelines and make you wish you clamped the sidelines down.
I have them taking Kelvin Banks Jr., tackle out of Texas.
That's good. I like that.
Yeah.
I do like that. All right, let's go to the team. The team that disappointed me in the playoffs. All right, well, I have Detroit sticking with the defense. We're going back to defense.
I do too.
Because we all know they need defensive help because they have so many injuries.
Is Hutch going to be ready is the question. I don't know.
Well, funny you say Hutch. I haven't taken an edge rusher. Malik Williams out of Georgia.
Oh.
Yeah, I have him falling.
I have them going linebacker.
From where? From Georgia, I see.
From Georgia. I have Jalen Walker falling.
Okay. So you're... Okay, so we're not far off for what they had. Detroit needs defensive help. They lost half their defense last year. And I think both our picks they're both Dan Campbell boys. They're both players who are raw players who do anything for their coach.
Yeah.
Because that's how Kirby Smart coaches his team. So they're used to that. And then when they go to the Dan Campbell, they're going to be ready to run through a brick wall. So I think these players are good culture fits for Detroit. That's why I picked a Georgia boy, because the Georgia boys could be a good, it could be a good culture fit for them.
Yeah.
All right, from Detroit to Washington, where do you have Washington taking?
Do they ever need O-line help?
Yeah,
Do they ever?
they do.
So I have them taking Armand Membu, tackle out of Missouri.
So I have them not taking an O-lineman.
Oh.
This is where I have Isaiah Bond going. There's a reason. Isaiah Bond could be a good NFL slot receiver. Because the NFL slot receiver now is different than what it used to be. When you had a slot receiver, you think of a big, like 6'4", 6'5" receiver, big, strong guy. Now with these West Coast offense, you got to have a smaller, very fast slot receiver to break the goat that can go up the seam. And with Isaiah Bond's speed, I think he's going to kill middle of the defenses.
Yeah.
Because he's going to be wide open, be on the other side of Debo and Scary Terry.
Yeah.
So it's going to be, they're going to get the overwhelming talent, so they don't have to worry about O-line.
Okay. Les Buffalo Bills.
Oh, my God. Add that to the counter.
He's still dying. But I have the Buffalo Bills going linebacker. I have them taking Demetrius Knight Jr., linebacker out of South Carolina.
Oh, I like that. But look, Bills need cornerback help. They need secondary help.
They do. They do.
This is where I have Will Johnson going.
Okay.
I have him falling deep in the first round, but I don't have him out of the first round.
Yeah.
So again, he's come from a very disciplined team. Michigan's a very disciplined team. Always has been, always will be. And Buffalo needs discipline in their secondary room.
Yeah.
Because they've done a lot of PI this year. They have done a lot of just dumb, boneheaded mistakes. So they need a guy who can or they don't have to worry about like having penalties left and right.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the Kansas City Chiefs. We're going to have to blur that. Anyways, let's go to the second best team in the NFL because they got embarrassed. I have them taking tackle.
I do too.
I have them. This is where I got Josh Simmons going out of Ohio State.
Okay. I have them taking Gray Zabel out of North Dakota State.
Oh, a little FCS.
Yeah.
I like that. I think Andy Reid is going to pick Andy Reid. Say what you want about the Chiefs. Andy Reid drafts very well, and he drafts particularly offensive linemen really well. These are both guys that I feel that are both Andy Reid guys.
Yeah.
So anywhere you look at it with our two picks, just makes the most sense for them.
And they need someone to interchange Jawan Taylor a little bit so he doesn't take a freaking false start on every single play.
I can't go through that again. Okay, let's go to Philly.
Do they trade up is the question. It feels like they do that every year.
I feel like they won't. I think they're actually going to sit this year. But granted, now, my pick going into today would have been a D lineman. Not D lineman. It would have been an offensive lineman guy.
Okay.
But with the news that Darius Slay will be cut before June 1st to save $4.2 million off the cap, I have him going cornerback. I'm going Benjamin Morrison from Notre Dame. Yes, this will be the This will be the second Notre Dame player drafted in the first round.
Okay.
I have Benjamin Morris because he's another, just like Xavier Watts, he is a solid a solid cornerback that doesn't make mistakes.
Yeah.
He is another guy that where you could put him on the opposite side. Because honestly, without Darius Slay, they got nobody on the outside now. So you need an outside guy.
Yeah.
So Benjamin Morrison is going to be your outside guy for Philly. Where do you have Philly going?
I have them beefing up their D-line, going edge.
I cannot imagine another good edge rusher.
Nick Scorton, edge out of Texas A&M.
Ooh. If they get him, he's going to play real nice with Jalen Carter.
He is.
Because he's another Jalen Carter. Like, pitch perfect Jalen. Oh, I'm just thinking about that D-line.
It's going to be disgusting.
It's going to be disgusting. All right, well, that wraps up the TNG podcast mock draft 1.0.
Yeah.
These were rough. We will get better at these. Isaac.
I'm not even going to act like I'm insulted by that because it's the damn truth.
Okay, well, we're going to take a break because I got to go blow my nose.
This has been a very long NFL segment.
Very long NFL segment. An hour-long NFL segment?
Yeah.
Well, there was a lot to talk about. Anyways, I'm going to take a break and blow my nose and try not to sound like complete trash. When we come back, we'll be a short NHL and then a little bit of MLB, and then we're going to get into the WWE. I'm very excited about the WWE. All right, welcome back to the Thielet and Grace podcast. We are all cough drop locked in. There's a new cough drop in my mouth to keep me from coughing on the mic and making my allergies feel a little better, making me feel a little better. But now we're moving over to the puck. All right.
I do love me some puck.
Before we talk about Matthew Tkachuk and we talk about the other part of the NHL, let's talk about our dumpster fire. The Pens have won one game.
They are 1-4-1 since Four Nations. 1-4-1 during our spring break. 1-4-1 since coming back from Four Nations. That is...
It's just embarrassing.
The tank is on.
Oh, yeah, they're tanking now.
The tank
Especially
is on.
now with Tristan Jarry being back up here. At this point, if you want to take, you should have took the other goalie, Wilkes-Barre, that's actually playing solid and see what you have out of him and letting him play with the big dogs.
Are you talking about Miroshov?
Yes, I am.
He's in Wheeling.
Oh, yeah, because they had to drop him because of Blomqvist.
Yeah.
Oh.
So their next option is Philip Larson. Who's playing decent, who has been playing decent, but yeah.
and I think it was Biz that said it best. The Pens don't know how to keep the puck out of their net.
Nope.
We have the most goals scored on since the Four Nations break.
That was either Biz or PK Subban.
One of the two said them. I forget which one said it, but we have the most goals scored on. We have no defense. Our defense, they just stopped the play. They stopped playing hockey.
It's gone. And speaking of defense, I'm curious to see how you react to this. P.O. Joseph has been placed on IR after that hit on Saturday.
I mean, what was the point of getting him? He either gets hurt or he doesn't play well. I think it's frustrating because we're in a win now situation.
Yeah.
We're not in a rebuild situation. We are a win now.
We're in an identity crisis situation is what we're in.
Well, but I didn't want to go there. So I feel like the Pens should have just gone all in. Should be going all in. They're not. And I want to know why they're not. Because frankly, it looks bad that we're not going all in. We're wasting Sidney Crosby. We're wasting Erik Karlsson. We're wasting Evgeny Malkin. We're wasting Chris Letang.
Where I think I genuinely hope Karlsson doesn't get shipped.
But
before
it's looking
Friday.
like he's getting shipped.
It looks like he's getting shipped.
We better get another first-round draft pick or another solid defenseman.
We better trade him to someone with a shit ton of cap because I don't want to retain any on him.
Oh, I want none of his contract, or we're getting him. Getting rid of him.
But he makes $10 million.
Okay. Well, as we're talking about the Penguins, Brian Rust recently put out a statement about him having a stuttering problem.
Yeah.
If you viewers don't know, because I don't know if you hear it enough from me, I have a stuttering problem. I've always had a stuttering problem. I've gone through speech therapy, and I've gone through other things to help my stutter. So I just want to say from us, and I hope Brian Rust hears this, thank you, Brian, for coming out and saying something about it. Because it's very inspiring for me to hear that another guy who we see day in and day out handle the media and says, look, I have the same problem that all these other kids have.
The fact that I just went to Instagram to get to that post. Whoever is saying 0-5 on power plays, embarrassing on that post. Read the f***ing room.
But so can I have your laptop so I can read the statement? Okay. So Brian Rust said, for a condition like stuttering, which isn't always highlighted in the public eye, it can be reassuring for kids to see a role model who is living out their dreams. I'm very proud to have a platform that allows me to connect with everyone in this community. And Brian Rust is also a part of a speech therapy. It's called the Rust Seats for Strength, where he helps kids who can't afford to be put in these speech therapy programs. And, Isaac, you hear it when we're off air. My stutter is more prominent when I'm not on air.
Yeah.
Or I'm not on here. But I've grown up having to battle through it. And it's not a common problem with people on media where you see these things. So it's very, very nice to see and hear somebody come out and say that they're dealing with it, because it inspires me saying, okay, I'm doing something right. And there's somebody who's going through this with me, who understands where I'm coming from. So, Brian, thank you so much for inspiring my generation and the generation below us that has this problem, and reassures us that it's going to be okay to get through the stuttering. And stuttering is not like an illness.
No.
It is not a condition. It is something that happens. It is something that happens where the brain and the mouth does not connect the right way. That's the problem I have. I have a problem reading out loud. I stutter a lot through that because my brain moves faster than my mouth. And that's what the stuttering does. And also builds up with nerves. Yeah. And I get very nervous and very conscious about it. So I'm so happy that he put out that statement and was very okay with doing it.
Yeah.
But anyways, moving off of that and getting back into sports, let's go into the trade deadline. Trade deadline is this Friday.
Yeah. We're going to have a nice trade deadline episode. But for right now, over this weekend, there were three kind of big trades. Two of them bigger than the last one. So
why don't you go through and break those down for us?
Okay. So in my number 3, we had the Nashville Predators shipping Gustav Nyquist back to the Minnesota Wild for a second-round pick. So Nyquist was, before he signed with Nashville ahead of last season, was traded to the Wild from the Blue Jackets for, I believe, a 5th or 6th round pick. He had an unbelievable season with Nashville last year.
Yeah.
Absolutely unbelievable. If you take a look at his stats with Nashville, last season he had 23 goals, 52 assists for 75 points in 81 games. Was a +7. He didn't he didn't cross over 50. He crossed over 50 points once in 3 seasons with Columbus. He crossed over 50 points once in 8 seasons with the Red Wings. His last 60-point season was when he was traded from the Red Wings to the Sharks in the 18-19 season. And actually, this timeline isn't really matching up, but I don't know.
Anyways, I think that's a fleece.
Oh, absolutely. I think I would. I don't know how many years he has left on his contract, but if he's a pending free agent,
I think the Pens should look into him. He's going to be cheap.
Well, yeah,
cheaper than Ryan Graves. He's cheaper.
Well, yeah.
Ryan Graves, congrats on your first point of the entire season over the weekend.
I ain't congratulating you for
So while we're jumping on this targets of the NHL trade deadline, minus Erik Karlsson, who do you think else is another target for these NHL teams?
This is weird to say because he already got traded, but it sounds like he's not sticking around. Mikko Rantanen, I think, is going to be on the move again.
Where do you see him having the best fit?
I see there's a lot of teams where I see him fitting, but I'm going off the hat. LA Kings.
And why?
Because they need a big point-getting power forward like Mikko Rantanen. They have good, solid skill up front, but Quinton Byfield is having a down year. They're hurt. They need someone that can score.
Yeah. Now, do you think we're going to see any goalies being traded this year?
Well, we already have.
Well, are we going to see any major names being traded?
Thinking. Right now, I don't see it. I don't see any other big names going in terms of goalies. But it's the trade deadline, and it always feels like, I don't know if this tracks, but I think the NHL trade deadline is the craziest out of the 4 sports.
Whoa, I don't know. Sometimes the NFL trade deadline has its moments, and the NBA just had their big one with Luka.
Well, within
reason,
with Nico Harrison doing.
Yeah.
Anyways, next trade. There were a lot of rumblings that Seth Jones, who is incredibly overpaid, $9.5 million a season.
I think he's just overhyped in general.
He is.
He's one of those guys you just hear nothing about.
Yeah.
And he does nothing for Chicago.
But he wanted out of Chicago because he wanted to win.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
Buddy, you make $9.5 million. Like, the fact that, I mean, it's Chicago, so but yeah, they shipped him to the Florida Panthers along with a 2026 4th-round pick. The Blackhawks in exchange got a 2026 first-round pick and goaltender Spencer Knight. Okay, so
Chicago now has 3 goalies that can play in the NHL.
4.
Oh, yeah. 4.
They have Peter Mrazek, Spencer Knight, Arvid Soderblom, and Laurent Brossoit.
Honestly, why can't we trade and get one of those goalies off of them?
I think it's either going to be Mrazek or Brossoit that gets dealt. And honestly, I wouldn't mind the Penguins going and picking up Laurent Brossoit.
I won't either. He's a solid, underrated goalie in the NHL.
Yeah.
And then, okay, let's get into this Florida talk. Matthew Tkachuk. He is officially on IR.
He is likely out for the regular season.
He's supposed to be back for the playoffs.
Yeah.
That is a massive blow for Florida.
It's huge.
It is, like, massive. So, and you know what's nice about, like, I don't want to say it's nice that he's hurt, but you're not hearing people complaining about the Four Nations. Kind of like how baseball did with the World Baseball Classic. People were like, okay, it happened.
Yeah.
Which is nice to hear that people actually were like, okay, it's international play. Of course, people are going to get hurt left and right. That's what happens.
I think the problem with the World Baseball Classic is it's right before the start of the regular season.
Yeah, it is right before the start.
This is directly in the middle of the season.
Yeah.
So.
But anyways, he's now officially on IR, which is a massive blow for Florida.
Yeah.
So, do you think that they're going to get a piece in this trade deadline to help out the forward position?
Yeah, I do. I don't know who exactly. Kind of just looking at who could possibly be available. They need to not go out. They need to not go swinging is what they need to do. They need to get someone that they need to elevate guys up. They need, I think, guys like Reinhart, Bennett, they're going to play more minutes. They're going to be on the ice more.
Yes.
Without Tkachuk. But I think they need to go get someone that can, like, play on the third, fourth line. Like, maybe they could, I think maybe the Panthers and Penguins might be in on a deal for someone like Anthony Beauvillier.
Oh. And what would you want the Pirates, sorry, I was looking at the Pirates to get ready for next segment. The Penguins get from Florida?
Beauvillier is good, but with like 13 goals this year, but he's not going to get all, he's not going to give you a lot. I say try to go get like a third round pick, maybe a second round pick out of Beauvillier.
Okay.
And yeah, I think that makes sense.
All right. Well, I think that's enough of the puck since we're having a special episode. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. We're going to have a special episode for the trade deadline. Let's just skip a break. Go straight to the MLB.
Yeah.
All right. You heard it here first. We're 6-3. The Pirates are 6. You heard me. We have a winning record in spring training.
It took them 9 games of spring training to have their first bad game yesterday.
Which is something you never heard of.
They lost 10-4 to the Tigers yesterday. That was bad. But, yeah, they're 6-3. What the hell?
You heard it here first. We're going to the series. Let's go, Bucks. We're getting a Bucktober. It's time to get excited for 3 months, okay?
And 76 win season coming.
Hey, 80. We're getting 80 wins.
Hey, I'm the dumbass that said we were going to have 89 last season.
We're getting 80 wins this season, okay?
I said we were going to have almost 90 last season.
Okay, anyways. I don't know if you've seen the video. There's recently a video posted of a shot from the bullpen looking at Paul Skeens' new pitch. That cutter that went in the inside. I've never seen a cutter in my entire life move as much as that cutter did.
I watched the last game that he started against the Orioles. God damn. That cutter was disgusting.
It's unfair. I mean, how can a guy who throws 103-mile-an-hour fastball he gets from throwing a 103-mile-an-hour fastball to throwing a slurve that moves ridiculously? No, he found a way to combine that pitch, put it into a cutter that still goes 100+. Like, that is insane. You can't even throw your... So, I was taught when a pitcher's throwing hard and he throws it in the inside. Yeah. Not the inside, the outside. You just throw your hands at it and push it to right field. He's not giving the batters time to recognize it and push their hands. He's telling the batters are guessing against him.
Yeah.
Which is insane to think about. And honestly, I think our entire pitching staff has looked good this time around. Like, at least our starting pitching.
Skeens is the one I've watched the most of. I haven't had much time to sit down and really watch spring training games. But I think he looks good. I think Mitch Keller looked really good in the couple of starts he had.
Agreed.
Not really sure about guys like Bailey Falter or Oviedo.
Yeah, it's just in general they are question marks going into the season no matter what.
Yeah,
because like Bailey's a question mark after every start, and then Oviedo just is coming off Tommy John.
Yeah,
so there's a lot of questions with that, but there's one person that I want to talk about. He's actually hitting a baseball for once. His name is Jack Sawinski.
Yeah.
He is hitting like he's never hit before.
Looks pretty good.
He looks really good. I'm trying to pull up his stat line. Looking for it. Come on, Jack. Where are you at, baby?
Also.
Oh, so he has a batting average of 500 with an on-base percentage of 583, a slugging of 9, an OPS of 1.483.
Okay.
Through 9 games of baseball. And he's played... Okay, so he's played 4 of those games. Again, that's only 4 games worth of baseball. But this is the same Jack Sawinski who was close to batting almost sub-200 last year.
Yeah.
So he's making a turnaround, which is nice to see. And then the young Bucks. Let's take a second and enjoy the young stars we're seeing.
One in particular I want to bring up.
Go ahead.
Matt Gorski.
Oh, my God.
Where in the hell did this dude come from? Where has this been the past, 3... This guy's 27. So he's been in our system for what seems to be a little while now. Holy shit. He looks unbelievable.
Yeah, and I think, honestly, he deserves a roster spot on the opening day.
The problem is he's center field.
Yeah, which is O'Neal Cruz.
You're not going to play Cruz every game.
Maybe use him on Sundays when O'Neal Cruz sits.
Maybe.
But that's going to wrap up the MLB because, again, this is spring training.
They take on the New York Yankees tonight at 6:35.
Oh, God, this is going to be rough.
Bailey Falter gets the start.
Oh, this is going to be really rough. Is Judge playing?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, while he's looking, this is very... Oh, this could be bad. This is going to be bad.
They're playing a lot of their...
starters?
Yeah.
All right, well, this is going to be another Pirate loss. Another prime Pirate loss. Okay, let's get into the segment. Segment we all been waiting for. It's time to talk WWE. I am insanely excited to talk about this.
I was forced
to
watch wrestling.
For the first time in probably, 12 years at least?
Since what? Since I've watched?
Yeah.
First time willingly I'm almost 22. Almost 22 years. I turned 22 next month. I've never willingly watched wrestling.
Anyways, this was Elimination Chamber. With you regular sports fans don't know, Elimination Chamber is kind of like the AFC Championship of the of the WWE. This is the last big show before WrestleMania, which is the Super Bowl for WWE. So there was there was a men's Elimination Chamber match, which was very good. There was a women's Elimination Chamber that was equally as good.
Yeah. And
then there was one match in particular that wasn't a chamber match that we are going to start off and talk about.
Holy f***ing shit.
It was an unsanctioned street fight, which, if you guys don't know, sanctioned matches is like when you see the normal wrestling matches.
Yeah.
But this one, anything goes. And the storyline for it is a 20+ year old storyline between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. For viewers that doesn't know pro wrestling, so there is the main. There are these main shows: AEW, WWE, TNA. There is Impact when Impact was a thing. There's these other like major shows. And then there's a whole nother sector of wrestling that's called the independent scene.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, they're both Canadian-born wrestlers. They've gone through every stop. They were always together. They were always rivals, and they were also very best friends. They used to bounce in between that. About 15 years ago, there was something called a death match. So I'm not going to go into the details of a death match. Just look it up on YouTube after you watch this podcast. Don't do it while doing it. Stay on the podcast. They were in a match that was very similar to a unsanctioned street fight, which was equally as good as this one. But again, so the storyline is that Kevin Owens did a power driver, which is, if you don't know what power driver is, when you pick up the wrestler, and you drop him straight on his head. What it looks like they're doing. So the whole storyline is that Sami Zayn wasn't medically cleared to fight. And that's why it was unsanctioned. But anyways, we saw a lot of things in this fight. This match was it was a barn burner, beat 'em up fight.
I wish I had recorded my reaction to this fight, because I'm pretty sure a couple of times I said, "Holy shit, that man Kevin Owens is a f***ing criminal."
Yeah, he was. At one point in the match, there was a barbed wire steel chair.
What the fuck?
If you don't know, this is the first time I think they've actually used barbed wire since the 2000s when they were allowed to show blood.
And the thing is, Sami Zayn's neck was f***ing destroyed.
Oh yeah, the way Sami Zayn made it look like he couldn't walk again after that match.
No,
he didn't move. And then it was so the match like that. Street fight, a unsanctioned match is normally a fast-paced. We're gonna be flying all over the place. We're gonna put people through multiple tables, stuff like that. This was a slow, methodical beat 'em up where every move you felt the move.
Yeah,
which is what this match needed to be.
Yeah, I was like, ooh.
Yes, and this was perfect. This was a perfect 5-star match. So there's Dave Meltzer. He is a match rater. A match rating. He rated most of every match that happens every year and happens in every show. To me, this was a 5-star match. They had everything in it. And then at the very end, when Kevin Owens continued to beat up on Sami Zayn after putting his head through a steel chair, laying right on his neck, starts beating him up some more, Randy Orton comes back from storyline injury, and comes back and surprises. I was expecting Randy to come back. Well, I was expecting him to come back on a show, like on a Raw or a SmackDown. I was not expecting him coming back in the PLE. I was audibly saying, "Holy shit, holy shit, holy shit!" Like in my okay. So let me frame you my weekend. I worked Saturday night. I was able to watch it live. So, and then I got sick at 3:30 in the morning, and I didn't go back to sleep till 5:30. So in that time of me not being able to sleep, I turned it on. So I'm downstairs in my house watching this thing. I'm screaming, "Holy shit," at 3:30 in the morning watching this match.
How pissed off were your parents?
They couldn't hear me.
Okay.
So, but yes. So I enjoyed every second of this match. So moving on from Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, let's go over to the women's Elimination Chamber,
which I barely watched.
It was okay. So Jade Cargill at the very beginning. I don't know. Did you watch the very beginning of that match?
A little bit.
Okay, so that lady that came in and beat up the other girl that was in the match. So Jade Cargill got put through a car behind the scenes. She was put. Yes, you can imagine. Front windshield was cracked, shattered. She was laying back. There was blood going down her head. It was a whole thing. This is why I love wrestling. Wrestling's amazing. It's a man's soap opera. Is what I call it. Anyways.
Oh, dear Jesus.
And there was room, and the storyline was looking like that Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, part of the Judgment Day, they were a tag team, they were heel, they were bad guys, that they put her through the car. But now with her coming back and fighting Naomi, who's also at one point was the tag team champions with Bianca Belair. And then Jade Cargill was also tag team champions with Bianca before she got put through the thing. And then Naomi stepped in Jade's spot. So now looking back at it, there was all the signs in the world that that's what happened. Yeah. And they perfectly disguised it. So that I love that she came in and beat the living shit out of Naomi.
Yeah.
And that's honestly what Jade's character needed. They didn't do it enough. Jade is a powerhouse. She's massive. She is massive for being a female wrestler. And they haven't done anything where she looked like a true powerhouse. Because Naomi is also not a smaller woman wrestler. She's a little bigger one.
Yeah.
So seeing Jade go in and beat up Naomi the way she did is what her character needed. And needed a little bit of edge like that to her. So seeing that now, I just can't wait for Monday night to see what they do next with that storyline.
Yeah.
Bianca Belair won the match. So there was one person that match that impressed me the most. It wasn't Bianca. It wasn't Lexis Bliss, who just came back from having a baby. This was her first. This is like her second match ever since having a kid 2 years ago. Then there was Naomi was out. There was Liv Morgan was in there. Like some of these big names, Roxanne Perez. So for people who don't know, Roxanne Perez is part of the NXT program. The NXT program is the AAA it's like for baseball fans. It's the AAA of the WWE. All their developmental stars and their stars of the future come from NXT. So this was her first major match up on the big brand. And she looked amazing the entire match. Not a single flop from her. She took every bump. She looked great on every bump. She sold every move. Her own move, she looked great. Like, look, she was up with all these main eventers and looked like a main eventer with everybody.
Yeah.
So, moving away from that match, we're going to skip the Tiffany Stratton match and the Tiffy time match because that was a throwaway match.
Yeah.
We're going to get into the men's Elimination Chamber.
Look, even though I'm not a wrestling guy, I was jumping for joy for one reason only.
We're going to get to that. We're going to say that to the very end. Because we got to expect...
I don't think we're talking about the same thing.
Are you talking about C Nation?
No.
Oh. What were you talking about?
Logan Paul getting his shit rocked.
Yes. That made my day seeing Logan Paul get his shit rocked. I mean, don't get me wrong. Logan Paul looked very good inside Elimination Chamber, which he always does. But anyways. That Elimination Chamber match, stacked. Absolutely stacked.
Unbelievable.
Drew McIntyre was in that match. Seth Rollins. John Cena.
CM Punk.
Did I say Seth already?
Yeah.
Okay. There was Logan Paul. I'm missing one. Oh, that's the name. Logan Paul. I didn't say Logan Paul.
I think you did, but
Wait. John Cena, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest, and Logan
Priest
Paul.
is who you didn't say.
Okay, so Damian Priest. So all those names minus Logan Paul are all WrestleMania main eventers, like main event caliber people. So this match was stacked. CM Punk, John Cena, Seth Rollins, all three of them first ballot Hall of Famers. Not even a question.
Yeah.
And yes, there is a Hall of Fame for the WWE. Okay? There is a Hall of Fame for it. I know, sounds stupid.
No, it makes sense.
Makes sense. But yes, there is a Hall of Fame for the WWE. And it's very good. It's always very fun to see these guys come back. Anyways, this match was hard-hitting, high-flying, and it's every single elimination told a story. Drew McIntyre being out first because having an obsession over John Cena being in that match without having the win, which is perfect for him. Absolutely perfect. Because Drew McIntyre obsessed over everybody. He obsessed over CM Punk, obsessed over Seth Rollins, obsessed over Damian Priest. So for him to take his eye off the ball yet again and get pinned by Damian Priest was picture perfect. And that should be a Mania match, is Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
Now, Seth Rollins being eliminated by CM Punk. That storyline has been brewing for the past 13 years. And I get everyone's going to say, CM Punk just came back. Doesn't matter. Behind the scenes, they don't like each other. It's well documented they don't like each other. They're like as much hating as NFC South. The cornerback that always fought Mike Evans. Marshawn Lattimore.
Yeah.
So they're like that. They do not like each other.
No.
So them being CM Punk being eliminating Seth Rollins like he did was perfect. Damian Priest being eliminated by Logan Paul, massive deal. Massive deal, because that might be a storyline between Logan Paul and Damian Priest. Yeah. Now, Logan Paul being embarrassingly taken out, that was perfect. Made me happy. Now, seeing CM Punk and John Cena fight each other for the first time in 13 years was perfect for me.
Yeah.
If you don't know, back in 2012, they had this feud and it all culminated to Money in the Bank, where it was for the WWE Championship. But the thing about it, CM Punk's real life contract was up that night at 12 a.m. So, and the storyline was that he wasn't going to sign back. Like, he was pulling a Le'Veon Bell and he was going to hold out.
Ooh.
And what makes the story even better, the pay-per-view, because it was pay-per-view at the time, was held in Chicago, the home city of CM Punk. So you can imagine that crowd when that happened. It was insane. So CM Punk ended up winning the match and then walked out with the championship belt. He walked out through the crowd and out the building. It wasn't seen for 2.5 weeks on TV because it was reported all night that he hasn't signed a new contract. So they led us all to believe that he left the company with the title belt without being signed. So seeing something like that being paid off 13, 14 years later between seeing CM Punk and John Cena back in the ring on John Cena's farewell tour, it made my little 12-year-old heart that watched the prime of Cena, the prime of CM Punk, seeing that commented on TV was absolutely perfect. There was nothing wrong with it.
That was nice. Yeah.
So I loved every second of the match. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Something happened after the match. So after the match, spoiler warning, John Cena won the Elimination Chamber.
Which we all wanted.
I want to see CM Punk to win.
Okay.
But because CM Punk Cody Rhodes would be a good match. But anyways, after the match, Cody Rhodes comes in with his grand entrance. By the way, love his entrance. It is insane that they I don't know, you can't hear it too well, but they sing every lyric of his song. And then that whoa you heard, that's the first time you heard that, right? When the crowd screams whoa. When after this, go back to WrestleMania 40 last year. There's a clip of it of the whoa with the fans. That crowd was insanely loud. But that's not the point. So, getting back to it. So, fans are already energized because they're seeing Cody Rhodes. They're a big-time babyface. They're a big-time good guy. Like, he's getting pushed like John Cena was. When John Cena was the face of the company. Against John Cena. Arguably the best wrestler of all time. He is the GOAT, in my opinion. There is no one better than him. I don't care what you say about Ric Flair. John Cena is the best he's the GOAT for many reasons.
Oh, yeah.
He's carried this company on his back for 20 plus years. Being the top guy, being hated the most. All he does with the Make-A-Wish. All he does with promoting and being an ambassador for a brand that gets hated on because of its past and present and their CEO, their former CEO, which we're not going to discuss because it's not the show to discuss that.
No.
We're not going to discuss what Vince did. But John Cena's been the guy to help clean that up and get fans interested in this again.
Yeah.
But so for the first time since 2003, I wasn't born yet. Were you born?
Depends what month of 2003.
Okay, he came in like the summer of 2003.
Okay, so I was like maybe a month or two old.
Okay, so you were a month old. I wasn't born yet. For the first time in almost 20 plus years, John Cena turned heel. And he did it in perfect fashion. Cody Rhodes came out, talked to John Cena, and then The Rock comes out, and the week before this, Rock looked at Cody Rhodes and said, "I want your soul. I want you to sell out to me. I want you to be the corporate champion." He didn't say it like that, but that's basically what he was saying. He came out with Travis Scott on a Rock theme that slashed into Fiend. That went back to the Rock's theme. By the way, hearing Fiend on WWE was not on my bingo card this year.
But it was kind of perfect.
Oh, dude, it was insane. I was screaming Fiend in my room after. So I didn't get to the men's match until the next day.
Yeah.
So when I got to the men's match, I had my family. Okay, I grew up with a family that loves WWE. So my family watched the night before and waited for me to go watch it. And then after when I was downstairs, they were upstairs. And then all you heard was me screaming, "Fiend, Fiend, Fiend, Fiend." me go with the song because I'm a massive Travis Scott fan.
Yeah.
I love Travis Scott. I love every song he does. But I'm downstairs jamming out the Fiend. So seeing Travis Scott and The Rock all in the ring together with Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes looks at censor warning, looks at The Rock and tells him to go f himself. So this is the first F word in a very long time in WWE programming. So hearing a clean F word brought not bleeped out. Now I went back and watched it watched it yesterday. It's still on there, uncensored. After he said that, John Cena came over, gave Cody Rhodes a hug, which we all knew was going to happen because John Cena's the ultimate good guy. He's the ultimate guy. And then The Rock puts his thumb on his neck and slits it across, saying to end it. John Cena's face went from smiling real big to a straight, angry face, pushed Cody back, kicked him straight up in the balls, and then started wailing on him. and then took Cody Rhodes' Rolex, expensive ass Rolex, and beats the shit out of him, and then grabs the championship belt and smacks him in the head with it, and cuts him straight over. what makes this really funny is that while all of this is happening, Travis Scott is smoking weed in the corner of the ring.
How did I miss that?
If you go back and look, Travis Scott. Oh, even McAfee said that he's smoking sage on the corner of the ring because they didn't want to say that it was weed. And then, but anyways, this was a very mature end of this program, which is maybe very happy to see because like this is something that I know in pro wrestling as being you're gonna beat up the guy, they're gonna get a little bloody, and they're gonna go put through tables.
Fuck Travis Scott, man.
Yeah. So, but anyways, and then Travis Scott end up wailing on Cody Rhodes too. On top of that, anyways, but that was a perfect storyline because what you guys don't know is that if you went back to watch the Royal Rumble that happened about 2 months ago, at the post-game press conference for that, yes, they have post-game press conferences for these big events, which is something they just started with in the past couple years. John Cena, except saying that I'm going to do these qualifying matches, looked at the camera and said, I'm in the Elimination Chamber. They don't have a choice. I am this company. I deserve to just say I'm in it. So at that point, we all thought it was just him saying, I deserve this. I'm getting this. We didn't think that this was the first step of him turning heel.
Yeah.
And then the way he looked at Rock, I went back and rewatched it. The way he looked at Rock, you were like, oh, what's going on? And then Rock perfectly doing like this, and then John Cena turning heel. It was cinema. Like, it was the best acting John Cena's done in his entire acting career. Anyways, his movies are bad. I will admit it. The only thing he does good is Peacemaker.
Nah, the Daddy's Home cameos were funny.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they were funny, but nothing beats Peacemaker. Anyways, we're not a television show. Anyways, so seeing that storyline culminate, and now he did the press conference for the Elimination Chamber. He didn't talk. All he did is what your Mike's been doing the entire day. He went in and mic dropped. It's just like that.
The timing was perfect.
And it mic dropped. It just perfectly. So I'm so excited to see a heel John Cena. What would make this perfect? That he comes out with the Dr. Thugonomics music. Which, yes, John Cena's first major gimmick as a heel, he used to rap and make fun of the artists and make fun of the wrestler he's going against. It was really funny. It was perfect. But anyways, I think that's it for the show today.
Yeah.
It's a very long show.
It was a long one, but it was a good one.
Yes, it was a good one. From Ryan Thielet to Isaac Graves, thank you for coming to the Thielet and Graves podcast.
Stay tuned for the next few because we're going to have some fun stuff. Next week, we got some puck to talk.
And we might or might not have a little special guest on that show. We'll see. But anyways, before we get out of here, we want to mention that this show is brought to you by the Center of Media and Innovation by Point Park University. Without them, we wouldn't have this equipment to sound this good, look this good, and be sick in this room. So thank you, Point Park, and thank you to Center of Media Innovations for what you do for us as students and for the faculty. And we will see you next week, same time, same place. See you later.